self-derived. In the Christian worldview, we have God who discloses of himself. He reveals of himself through creation and through special revelation through the course of human history, that he is ultimate. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the first and the last. He's the beginning and the end. He is the creator and the sustainer of all facts. But you don't accept that. So if you're going to invoke facts, those facts are not standalone. I want to know from whence they derive. And if you don't have any identifiable, attestable, metaphysical primary or what is ultimate, then whatever putative facts that you invoke, they're simply being invoked from a chance world where chance is ultimate.
Yeah.
And if chance is ultimate, you can have no intelligibility for even saying the dog is wagging its tail.
Mm-hmm.
Or saying the sky is blue. Because then we can look at those putative facts in reference to your model of reality, which will be your metaphysical context. But there will be no metaphysical context for these facts. Therefore, they would be uninterpreted facts and no facts at all.
Mm-hmm.
So you see, you're borrowing from the Christian worldview without realizing it. You are adopting in your mind that the foundational parameters or the metaphysical context that you exist in simply exists, and you say, to hell with God, okay? I don't need no stinking God, right? So you want to believe in matter, energy, causality, and laws of nature. Well, those could not be stated and defended as being ultimate. So then why are you asserting them, let alone defending them? Why would they even exist? What institutes and secures that there's actual continuity as opposed to the illusion of continuity? I mean, imagine in your neighborhood, let's say you're talking to a niece, right?
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it's been very rainy the past week, and it's rained every single day for 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then your niece says to you, well, it's going to rain tomorrow. And you say, well, why do you say that? Say, because it's been raining consistently. You say, just because those consecutive events happened in the past several days, it doesn't follow from that tomorrow will be like yesterday or the day before. But if you try to appeal to the uniformity of nature when you talk about existence because you had an appearance of continuity, it doesn't follow from that continuity is actually, number one, real, number two, that it would continue. So you see, you think you can get away with having a coherent, intelligible world and speak forth intelligible facts without the God of the Bible. You can do without him. You don't have to acknowledge him. You do not have to be thankful to him as creator. So therefore, you're going to be acknowledging either directly or indirectly something else that you consider to be ultimate. Okay? See, the Bible says God has made us to know that he exists, but there are some people who refuse to acknowledge God nor be thankful to him as creator, and they turn and worship the creation. That's what you're doing. You are worshiping the creation. It's the creation. It's the world that you live in is the reason why you're here and why there are facts, not God. But the point is, there is no ultimate foundation for which you can appeal to. So your worldview is a world of chance, and therefore talking about anything such as dogs, cats, trees, rocks, cars, pizza, none of that means anything. Okay? Now, you think it does, but the only reason why you think it means something is that you haven't examined its metaphysical context sufficiently and thoroughly. So all you're left with is a series of brute facts to explain your world, and if it's just brute facts, you're in a chance world. You're in a chance world. You have no grounds for intelligibility for anything.
Mm-hmm.
So when we reject God's self-disclosure of himself, God says in 1 Corinthians chapter 1, we become fools. What we think is wisdom, that we can interpret our world, we can decide on our own, by ourselves, apart from God's self-disclosure, I can determine what the nature of reality is and make sense of facts. And God says, no, you can't. And the proof of the pudding is deny God's self-disclosure of himself, and you're screwed. Not only are you in trouble eternally because you're under God's wrath, right now, you won't be able to make sense of anything. You won't even be able to talk about science. I had a conversation debate with a very popular female atheist on YouTube. She presents herself as conducting intelligent conversations. Well, she certainly didn't conduct an intelligent conversation with me. After she got done questioning me about my views about the soul and how it relates to science, I then asked her, since she's saying that science is incompatible with the concept of a soul, I asked her, how does her worldview provide a basis for intelligibility of science? Okay. Now, this is a woman who claims she wants to be educated and wants to have intelligent conversations and is seeking the truth. So when I asked her, how does your God-free world provide for the intelligibility of science that you're invoking? You know what her response was? It was to say, my worldview is I eat cheesecake. See, this is why I don't take unbelievers and atheists seriously. Okay? Because I already know the motivation of their hearts. Okay? They do not want to acknowledge God. They do not want to be thankful to God. And they turn and worship the creation, which is nothing more than foolishness. And I would go so far as to say a form of insanity. Mm-hmm. So we can choose God and his self-disclosure of himself, or we can choose a world of absurdity and think and twiddle our thumbs and think that we can make sense in an absurd world. Mm-hmm. That's how you know that the Christian God is true, right? Mm-hmm. It's not only because he disclosed of himself, but without him, if you even attempt to deny him, you won't have grounds for reason. You won't have grounds for affirmation or denial of anything. Mm-hmm. I dealt with one cocky, arrogant atheist recently, and he told me, I don't believe in God. I don't have a good reason to believe in God. I said, so you're claiming to possess the capacity to reason. What is it that's ultimate in your world that provides for reason? You know what this numbskull said to me? He said, reality. That's all he left with. It's just to throw out, just a vague reference. Reality, existence. Yeah. What we should call him is T. Jump the Shark. And if you've never heard that reference before, Jump the Shark, you can look it up. So the Christian God cannot be denied. Mm-hmm. Somebody can say it, I deny the Christian God, but it's just a vacuous statement. How would somebody deny the Christian God? What ultimate would they appeal to in order to negate the Christian God, who is the ultimate?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.